How they get in yeshiva, there was a communist regime. No food, no light. They tried to learn and to daven. So she, as a girl, the communists were watching everything that everybody does. She snuck food and candles to the Nevada yeshiva, so they should have her to light and food. They should be able to live. The Rebbetzin was always devoted to every single Jew that she ever had any contact with. About an hour before she was in Stalik, Dr. Feldman was with her in the car to the hospital. She was in terrible pain. And an hour or two, a very short while before she was in Stalik, she went to Galilee. So Dr. Feldman's daughter, whose name is now Shemtov, she married Shemtov. Her name is Sarah Feldman, she was then, as a Kala. She was a Kala then. Yeah. And what does the Rebbetzin ask hours before she's in Stalik? She asks Dr. Feldman questions. How is the young couple? Are they happy? When is the wedding? She partially cared for any other person and not for herself, ever. Wow. And she herself was like in such a she lived in such a tznuah way.
This is it.
She once told a friend of hers, in England, she said, I don't go in our neighborhood, I don't go kamat ever to stores to buy anything. Because as soon as they see me, they will give them cover. They want to give me respect and honor. Who am I, she said. She held herself back from going to the store because she did not like people should give any special
Farbrengen?
DoorDash.
You want to go to 7:30?
That was the first DoorDash. Yeah.
Shmuel Lou is now in 70. He's a shliach in England, very famous shliach Shmuel Lou. So when he was engaged, he was a chassan. He came with his kala to visit the Rebbetzin in the house.
Sure, it was Jeffrey, so we had to connect.
Zalman Jaffe was the father of the kala, of his wife.
Yeah.
The Shvat. So they came to the Rebbetzin set up, he was nervous, the Rebbetzin set up a beautiful white tablecloth. And food for them, and drinks, punch, I think she made. A nice tall glass, very fancy stuff, just to show them, respect. So Shmuel says he didn't notice that there was a straw in the glass. She put straws there. So he wanted to take the glass. Somehow his hand touched the straw. The straw pushed the glass, and the whole glass with all the punch flipped over on the white tablecloth. And he says the Rebbetzin Pashut showed such excitement and happiness. This is a sign of a blessing. And the Rebbetzin, so much so that Zalman Jaffe said later on, he said that she showed such excitement about the Siman Bracha that Shmuel was looking for another glass to spill over.
Do it again.
Let's do this again.
But she took the straws out already.
So for taste, that's how the Rebbetzin was. Never to try to make somebody, feel uncomfortable. Only comfortable.
Uncomfortable is the same as feel uncomfortable.
When the Rebbe didn't want to accept the Nesius in the first year,
For the apple.
when the Rebbe didn't want to accept the Nesius the first year, so the Rebbetzin was very, very intelligent, very smart. Everybody knows that. All the Rebbetzins of Chabad had one special thing about them. They were extremely, extremely wise, smart. You know what I'm saying? Chachomis. In addition to being tzidkanies and nevias and the rabbis, Rebbetzins. So she knew that if the Rebbe becomes Rebbe, she knew she's not going to have no regular life, private life, no comfortable life. And she encouraged the Rebbe to accept it. Why? Because she saw the Chassidim wanted so much. So she, even though she later on, I remember when there was certain, like, Bama's the Rebbetzin went through a lot of troubles through her life. Scary stuff, where Klal Yisrael was suffering. First in Russia, they arrested her father. Her father was arrested by hooligans, by Kalgasim, by the communists, who murdered people all day long.
Yeah, it was for them like
killing a fly.
Kill a fly was easier for us to kill a person.
Yeah.
How do you shoot a fly like this?
That's why. You can't.
A fly is harder to
Yeah,
kill
that's it.
than
That's
to kill a
It was easier for them to hurt a person than to hurt a
Yeah.
fly. So he was arrested, and the Rebbetzin was very, very involved, and it was scary for the family. It was very frightening, and suffering, you know. After that, it was in France. In France, the Germans, the Nazis, took over France, and again they were in trouble and frightened. So much so, that was a story with the Rebbe, but she was with the Rebbe together, and they mamish suffered. They were scared every day. You never knew when the Nazis in Machshmom are going to ship people off to concentration camps
They did it
somewhere
in
in
a
Germany.
in a very organized way.
And they came into her house, the police,
You didn't know
and
when
asked
you're gonna be.
her,
Grid by grid.
they wrote down, what are you? So she wrote Orthodox. I believe she meant Orthodox Jews. That's what I believe. But Lepoil the Rebbe didn't agree with it. He said Orthodox could make a mistake. That there's Orthodox Greeks and there's Orthodox other types of religions. And the Rebbe went back, or she went back to the office of the police and changed their words. He said Orthodox Jews. That they're Jewish. That's called Mesiras Nefesh in the face of anything. Then it came to America. So just like Russia is in the north side of the world, it says Mitzofim to Posach Haror. So we have in Kern Heights, we also have in the north, it's a shchuna called Williamsburg, Mitzofim to Posach Haror. So whatever the case was, they used to, I was there, I experienced it, I saw it with my own eyes. Not all of it, but a lot of it. They used to call me 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, they send fire trucks and ambulances to the house to scare me. And the Rebbe by Farbrengen said, I don't get this ball. He said by Farbrengen, I'm already used to it. But they're scaring my Rebbe. He said, by Farbrengen.
This I never knew. Doctor the same
Many
fire
stories
trucks.
that they
I
came.
never heard this.
Come to ask Mechila, stories people in Medaille. He stopped 10 people and he said they want to ask Mechila.
The Rebbe once by Farbrengen said that there was a Yid in Yerushalayim. A Yid in Yerushalayim, because somebody was giving him a lot of trouble. He wouldn't stop making him trouble. And every time he'd come and ask Mechila. The Rebbe said the story. And finally, one time he came to him and asked Mechila, he says, he knew that the Mechila is a Baba Meister. The next few weeks he doesn't write the trouble. So he says, Atazei wie du betst mit Mechila, Atazei wie du meinst zu sorgen an Schuldig, Atazei wie nicht der Meister.
What?
Explain.
כמו שאתה מבקש, ככה אני עונה.
כמו שאתה מבקש מחילה, ככה אני מוחל לך. בגלל שזה היה צחוק, הוא מבקש מחילה ועושה את זה עוד פעם. דיזלבל לך מדי מחילה זאת, זה קושני מחילה.
I apologize. Yeah.
על כל פנים, so they used to have shmira. They used to have shmira by the Rebbe's house. I was there. It was part of it. It was
Oh, you
Mishma. No, every bacher had to go.
outside, I mean,
And every bacher took upon himself to go for so many hours to sit in the next house
oh yeah?
to watch as long as Pasim
I was there also.
Okay.
For how long is it going?
This was going for a few years.
What's that, the house was open
Like
over? Is that
like
the second
the
house?
Jimmy
Jim's
right.
house, yes.
Few years.
Like the MEMS?
House right next door.
Can the court happen the
Late
MEM
Lamets, late
Bays?
Lamets.
MEM Bays have an opinion.
No, late Lamets. It started Lamed Hey, Lamed Vov, Lamed Zayin. That's when it went totally out of control. So then gesagt, wie schreckt der Rebbe sein, verstehst? And she didn't suffer enough in Rusland. But I'll call upon him, she was very, very sensitive to everybody else. Leah Khan, Yael's wife. She left.
So in the answer, yeah.
So a few things she said. Number one, she said that Rebbetzin was very, very worried, and she spoke to Mrs. Khan about it. About a group of people who came from Satmar, from Williamsburg, and started learning Chassidus. And what bothered her, it's a beautiful thing, right? It is a beautiful thing. She was scared and worried that the families shouldn't suffer. The parents shouldn't get angry with the kids that go to learn Chassidus. Their husbands and wives should have shalom bayis. That's what bothered the Rebbe. She would always ask Mrs. Khan to make sure to find out that everything is mamish 100%. And the Rebbe himself also. By Vechter says the story. He said the Rebbe asked if everything either the Rebbe or the Rebbe asked Mrs. Khan to make sure that there's shown that there's no problems chas v'sholom in the family. To learn Chassidus is very important. To get converts from Vilna is very important, but not on the cheshbon of another yid ever.
Very interesting. She worried for them.
Mrs. Khan said she came into the Rebbetzin's house once, and the shluchim sent handmade stuff. I don't know what that means. Gifts to the Rebbetzin. And the Rebbetzin complained.
Clock, no, not a clock. Not a clock.
A bunch of things. It says there are a bunch of things they sent.
We saw a clock over there.
Oh,
It
the
says there
grandfather, yeah, you see it. Ada Yamazeh.
They sent a bunch of things.
Yeah.
And the Rebbetzin said what bothers her. They have such heavy schedules, the shluchim. They can barely manage, and they have to go and do this and send me stuff. So Rebbetzin Khan tried to calm her down and said, "Yeah, it's nice. They respect you and this and that." But the Rebbetzin answered back, "Seemingly, you do not understand the tight schedule that shluchim have. You don't appreciate it," he said. And also appreciate it, sort of. Yeah. She didn't say those words. She said, "Zetui says they versteht nicht, dass was tut sich mit den Shluchim, how much, what their schedule is, how much they have to work so hard." Dr. Weiss was ein gesund in Chicago. So he was the Rebbe's doctor, and after Taf Lamed Ches, and he used to talk to the Rebbe once or twice a week, every week. She used to, give an update and so on. So the Rebbe would talk to him and ask him about his family and worry about what was the thing that she worried about. Dr. Weiss said this. She found out from him maybe, he used to, for many years, he worked in the hospital in Chicago, in a big hospital, not close to his house. And every morning he would go to work, every single day. Snow, ice, rain, hot, cold, doesn't matter, on a bike. From his house to the hospital. It wasn't a short ride, it was a far ride. Back and forth to the hospital and back home. And he's come home late at night. So what did the Rebbe worry? That he's riding himself at night. If he's safe, that's bothered her. She's scared about that. This is what she was bothered. The Rebbe hears with Taf Shalom Ches and this and that. She cares, and personal things. It means that she really cares. Another person would say, "How are you?" No, she cared about certain specific things that he's driving at night on a bike in Chicago. It should be safe.
Chicago is a place with a lot of crime.
And he drove his bike. So recently he stopped going to the hospital on a daily basis.
He knows it.
But this is how he drove. And by the way, I want to tell you, it wasn't an electric
Cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you another secret. It wasn't a bike
cardio.
with
Put it away
speeds.
from the picture.
It wasn't a bike with speeds. It was a regular bike that you pedal and it moves, and that's it.
Yeah.
And his shita is that a person has to move constantly and do exercise constantly in order to have a healthy heart.
He had a procedure not long ago.
They were saying
He's okay,
to say to...
as far as I know. His hip was messed up. He fell. Not on his bike.
Who, Dr. Weiss?
Yeah.
He's like 80 something.
And his shita, by the way, is, if anybody wants to know, because he told it to me personally, a person has to walk 2 miles every day.
2 miles?
You don't have to run.
That's it.
You don't have to do any other exercises. 2 miles a day.
2 is very good.
Every single day, he told me. Rain, sun, hail, or snow. That's the words he told me. Doesn't matter. You walk 2 miles every day. And you have, with Hashem's help, your heart becomes healthy. And stay away from sugar. That's the next thing. Stay away from all the sweet stuff.
What about pedaling?
2 miles.
It's good, yeah.
On the phone.
But
you
he's got to
feel
pedal
it
as much
tracks your
as 2
steps.
miles walking.
It sounds
You understand? That's a little more.
keeps
It's not
track
just
of
2
every
miles
movement.
pedaling.
Yeah.
It's
Keep
the
track,
time.
you see how much
If it
you
takes you 20, 40 minutes to go 2 miles, then you should pedal for 40
Yeah, my
minutes.
watch it says.
That's the idea. I guess, but this is what he said.
It's right, it's
It's
5,000
the easiest
steps.
exercise and it's the
Do it,
best
Michael.
exercise.
You do it?
I try.
I do sometimes 1 mile, 2 miles. Okay.
Where do you
gotta
have
get
1
used to it.
mile to walk here in
In a
Postville?
car, he does about 100 miles a day.
Yeah,
that's
I
not
could
good.
go car, but
Let's do that.
we
Anyway,
don't have
he's
enough
supposed to
miles
live in
here.
Aleinu.
Man.
Like you said before, the Rebbitzins brachas and care for every single yid,
Continue.
for every single yid in the world.
Treadmill,
Should
a conveyor belt.
come to us b'koil mamish.
Amen.
Everybody should have what they need, and even more what they need,
Amen.
and they should have blessings and happiness
Amen.
always, and long life.
Amen. L'chaim, l'chaim.
This Farbrengen. It seems like from the Rebbe's Sikha that some of the Chassidim there were famous. They were called Rabbi Yitzchok and Rabbi Zalman Rubashov. The president of Israel, Shazar, in the 1980s, I think, was a son or grandson of these Chassidim. Okay, so they had a big Farbrengen in this Chassid's house. It doesn't say the name of this Chassid, that rich Chassid. In Petersburg, in those days, lived another rich Jew, very wealthy, whose parents and grandparents were Chassidim. But he, unfortunately, went very far away from Yiddishkeit. And he had children, and he would give them a Jewish name by the bris, but the next day they would change it to Russian names. He was very far from Yiddishkeit. And he had a business deal he had to do with this Chassidish Chassid. But it was very urgent, so he couldn't wait for a regular appointment in his office in the daytime. He came to his house in the evening to talk with him privately about this business deal. And he came, it was exactly in the middle of the Farbrengen of Yitas Kislev. So this Friar Yid, this Yid who went far from Yiddishkeit, gave a look and he saw that the tables are all set. He had a beautiful big house, a mansion, a big room, and the people are sitting, there's candles on the table. And in those days, they already had some telephones in the big cities in Russia or in the hotels, old olden day telephones. And he saw this big, beautiful gathering. So this Yid thought maybe it's some kind of a family occasion. Somebody got engaged, a child was born, a grandchild was born, but he didn't say anything. He went into a private room to speak to this chassid, to this very wealthy person. And they finished their business deal. When he finished, he was curious, this Yid who came from Hasidic parents. He was curious, sakran they say, right? He wanted to know what's going on. So he asked the chassid, excuse me, it's not my business, but may I ask you what this big, beautiful party is over here? Is it a grandchild, a bar mitzvah, a bris? What is it? So the chassid says, yes, it's a family occasion, a family simcha, a family gathering, a party. Why? He says, because we just got a phone call from Gan Eden, from our grandparents, with our regards. The guy looked at him like he fell from the sky. He knows this is a businessman, and he's talking funny things. Telephone from Gan Eden. And this chassid waited a second for his curiosity to build up, and he says to him, tonight is Yitas Kislev. The Alter Rebbe came out of prison right here in this city of Petersburg. And our grandparents are all chassidim of the Alter Rebbe. And we are also followers of the Rabbein. So our grandparents in Gan Eden, who are already in the world above, are also Farbrengen now. So we communicate spiritually with them like a telephone call. So this guy became very curious. He says, can I step in there for a while just to be, to join? He says, for sure, please, you're invited. He brought him in, and this chassid says the Frierdiker Rebbe was a smart man. He knew how to make him feel comfortable, and he made him feel very comfortable. And he Farbrengen there, for a long time he was there for the Farbrengen. And he heard the Chassidish Werte from the people there, warm words about learning more Torah, doing more mitzvahs. He came home that night, says the Frierdiker Rebbe. He davened Ma'ariv with Pchias, and the next day he was a changed person. He kashered his kalim, he started eating only kosher and davening and learning for the rest of his life, and he lived a regular long life. Says this is the story. It's an old famous story. The Frierdiker Rebbe concludes, L'chaim, L'chaim.
L'chaim, L'chaim.
The Frierdiker Rebbe concludes and says, this was done through a Farbrengen. Usually, sometimes for a Jew to make such a change, you need either, the Rebbe said, either chas v'sholom, some punishment of a sickness, or a melech or sar koshik Haman. Sometimes you have these pressures from anti-Semites or a king or a Haman or other problems that a person has, and that sort of pushes him to do good. Here, says the Frierdiker Rebbe, was done by a Farbrengen. Not a drop of negativity, not a drop of bad, only good and only blessings. The Frierdiker Rebbe is trying to show us how great a Farbrengen is. That from a Farbrengen you get it all in a good, positive, and comfortable way. This is the point I wanted to say. That Farbrengen, anytime, tonight it's for Shvat, for the Rebbetzin, and any Farbrengen that we make. Ashreinu Matei Flakenu, that the Rabbeim that we follow gave us this tremendous schus of Farbrengen. You know, it's like every group of doctors has a medicine they come out with every few years, and they give it to the world, and everybody thanks them for it. We have that beautiful medicine that a lot of people don't even know about, or they don't want to know about. And the Rabbeim gave us this medicine, Farbrengen, because when you Farbrengen, you bless each other. We bench each other, that everyone should have all the blessings from the Eibishter, long life, healthy life, for us and for our families, Kain Yirbu and B'Teva Nir V'Anigla. That's what the Farbrengen is all about. And when we bless each other, it comes true. There's no question about it.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen.